It's gonna be I'm so happy to be back. And thank you for tuning in. It is Friday, June 8, 2018. And I'm not sure where you're tuning in tonight, but you are actually tuning in to the press release. And I'm your girl, Portia Bright. It is approximately 8 p.m. in Eastern North Carolina. And I am so happy to be here with you, as always, per usual. Right? Yes. So today has been a really awesome day. Totally got to shout out the 2018 graduates. Oh my God. I actually went to a graduation today. It just really brought back memories, and it made me feel really awesome to see all of those young people who actually overcome so many obstacles that young people have to endure in order to get to the next phase and the next stage, or in their case, the next grade, to further their education. So this was a phenomenal day. But of course, I'm going to get into that. But before I get a little deeper in the show, I want to encourage you, wherever you're tuning in right now, encourage a friend to actually link in with us at Awesome Radio 106.9 FM, or our website at wbisawesome.org. And also, you can actually catch us on social media at Awesome Radio 106.9 FM, or the press release with your girl Portia Bright. I'm actually on Instagram too at the press release for you. That's actually the number 4 and the letter U. So you can check me out on Instagram, and you can also go back and check a replay out on the show. And now a lot of people ask me, how can I replay the show, Portia? How can I replay the show? Well, your girl just went a little extra mile to make sure that you have the link whenever I conclude my show tonight. You can actually check it out on Awesome Radio 106.9 FM, the Facebook page, to replay that, or you can go check out Portia Bright TV to actually, replay the video and see in studio footage of, everything that's taking place behind the scenes. Because this isn't as easy as everybody thinks it is. It takes a lot of preparation. You have to prepare to be great. And so, just like anybody else out there, I got to do my best. And so, in order to do my best, I got to make sure I'm taking the necessary steps to prepare myself. Yes. So, let's get into the show. I really want to encourage some folks out there who are actually listening right now, who are so proud of someone that graduated either today or they're graduating in the next couple of days. I want you to call in, shout them out. I want you to do that in 2 ways. You can either call to shout out your graduate, or you can actually call to shout out your biggest inspiration, that person or people who actually help you get through school. Because sometimes it takes a lot of motivation, to do something like that. Because we can all get weary during the process of actually becoming great, right? Yeah. And so you can actually call in at 252-756-2008 if you want to call in to shout out your graduate. I personally have to shout out Trayvon Gay. Yes! And he actually graduated from Aiden Griffin High School, class of 2018. And he did a phenomenal job. He had like 5 medals, and he had like 10 cords. So he was really engulfing himself into all the opportunities that are presented to him, throughout his school year. And I also want to shout out Nantiana Morgan. She actually graduated from Aiden Griffin High School today. Oh my God, you should have seen them. If you haven't had a chance to go to a graduation yet, or if you're going to be going to a graduation, just look at all of the facial expressions of the graduates and stuff. Can you remember when you were actually their age, and you didn't know what was going to be next, but all you knew is that you accomplished the minimal level of education that is required of you to even go out into the workforce and do things that you want to do in life. You're actually becoming an adult, like when you graduate high school. As much as our seniors don't like to admit it, they always tell you that, oh, you ain't grown yet, but when you graduate high school, you have really set the bar. And so only place from there is to go up. So I'm totally encouraging, all of our graduates, go to college, go ahead and get that experience, while you're young. So that way, you kind of get a different perspective on things. Because when you go to college, it's like, the culture is different, the conversation is different, of course the people are different, and also sometimes you don't have those authority figures around, so you know how when you're growing up you have them hovering over you and stuff, but when you go to college it's a little bit different. And so what I want to do is I want to encourage you, make sure you spend your summer doing something that's going to help you get to the next level. Because it takes a lot to be an adult. I'm just going to be honest with you, like seriously, there's a lot of work behind it. You got to start paying bills, and you got to start thinking about what you're going to do after college. Well, not necessarily college, but what you're going to do after high school, because this is the time when your parents start looking at you like, hey, have you figured out what you're going to do next? They don't mess with you about that first week, but, the next couple of months, they're like, have you figured out what you want to do yet? So, it's good, when you graduate high school to go ahead and have your plan in place. And so I'm pretty sure most of you have, a great network of people who've been helping motivate you and, try to show you the direction to go and stuff like that. And so, yeah, I want you to call in. Let me know who those people are. You can actually call in at 252-756-2008. And yeah, I want to hear from you. But in the meantime, of course, while we're actually waiting for callers to actually call in and let us know, and also if you're shy or anything like this, nobody will embarrass you. You can actually go over to our Facebook page at Awesome Radio 106.9 and tag those people as well. So you don't necessarily have to call in to do that. You can actually shout them out on social media, because I know a lot of times people are a little uncomfortable when in terms of speaking on the radio or being on television and things like that. So I don't want to pressure anybody. You can actually tag us on our Facebook page as well, Awesome Radio 106.9 FM. You can check out the press release with Portia on Facebook as well. And if you follow me on my personal page, you know that I always post things. So yeah, your girl got some good news for you tonight, and a host of other things that you may not even feel like is good news, but it's my job to tell you anyway. And we have a caller. Caller, you listen to Awesome Radio. What's your name and where you're calling from? Okay, and who you shouting out today? Are you shouting out a graduate or? Okay, what's his name and what school he graduated from? Ooh, are you excited? Are you like his sister or what? Are you his sister? Oh, okay. Well, that's awesome. Well, what are your plans? Because it sounds like you've been looking at him like, yay, he's graduating. Now what am I going to do? Well, that's great. So make sure you continue to take the necessary steps to get there. Yeah, you can shout him out. Okay, go Trayvon Lamar Gay. I actually just mentioned him earlier on the show, so thank you for listening. Go ahead and shout him out. Well, I'll do it for Trayvon Lamar Gay. We are so proud of you. Keep on chasing the stars and never let anybody tell you can't do anything. Don't get held back by anything. You can accomplish whatever you want to accomplish. Sounds like they're excited to be on the radio. Okay, guys, thank you for calling. All right. And yes, we actually just had a caller call in shouting out their actual graduate. So, again, your girl has some news for you. So, let me get into that. So, this week, a whole lot of things actually took place. We had, of course, your girl gotta let you know what's going on in the legislature. So, we actually had an actual proposal come up in the form of a bill, of course. And let me tell you about that. It's displaying God, in God we trust, on the school system. Now, you already know that particular saying is actually already on our currency. We see that every day in the dollar and so forth. Oh, it sounds like we have another caller. Caller, you're on the line. Where you're calling from? What's your name? Where you're calling from? Hello, Awesome Radio. Well, we lost him. Well, yeah, so displaying in God we trust in the school system. So all North Carolina public schools would actually have to display the U.S. motto of in God we trust. And so in this state motto, in a prominent area in the legislative events actually on this past Tuesday. Yes. So, a House Education Committee voted nearly unanimously the requirement of the North Carolina motto, which is Esse quam videre. But the display must use the English translation to be rather than to seem. And I actually have this rug up in my office. If you ever come to the North Carolina General Assembly, you would actually see it in the front, like as soon as you come in on it's like granite or stone. They actually redid it. And so if you come in, you will actually see that saying. And so I'm always reminded of this actual Latin phrase, which is our state motto. But let me tell you about this law. Now, the state law already mandates the American and North Carolina flag hang in each classroom and the Pledge of Allegiance be recited daily. Now, like these items of patriotism, schools also would have to provide age-appropriate instruction on the meaning and historical origins of the motto. Now, of course, we know this is taking place, being the Republicans are in order, are pretty much in control right now. So this is actually a Republican bill. So Representative Burt Jones, a Rockingham Republican and bill sponsor, said, some people feel it is a reasonable expectation of a person's education. Oh, we actually have a caller. Caller, you're listening to Awesome Radio. What's your name and where you're calling from? Miss Mary, thank you for listening. So you have a graduate that you're calling to shout out, or a person who, okay, what's their name? Woo! Fantasia Wooten, you have your auntie, your loved one calling in to let you know how awesome you are. Is there anything you'd like to let her know? Amen. Wow, I'm actually a graduate. Yes, indeed. I'm actually a graduate of Pitt Community College, and so I'm pretty sure she's going to pursue and soar so high by taking advantage of the many programs that they have there. So thank you for calling, and most importantly, thank you for listening. Okay, what's her name? Come on with it. You got it. Tamika Bridges. All right, Durham, North Carolina in the house. We got a 2018 graduate. Now tell me this, is there any advice that you would give any young people out there who are graduating? Mm-hmm. All right now. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Amen to that. Well, thank you so much. So awesome advice, some wisdom right there. And we're hoping our young people out there listening to all of this wisdom that is actually being bestowed upon them and do great things, because we're believing in great things for them, right? Yes, ma'am. Okay. Thank you so much. And continue to listen to Awesome Radio. Okay. All right, there you have it. More people calling in to talk about how awesome their graduates are and give some advice and stuff like that. I mean, I got news. I'm trying to get to it, guys. But, when we have a time to actually celebrate one another, we got to really take that time because, every minute actually counts. Every minute really counts. And, a lot of times people don't really believe in it. They take it for granted. I've been guilty of it myself. And so we got to make sure we celebrate each other when we're doing great things and even when we're not, because every strong person needs somebody, right? We have another caller calling in. You're listening to Awesome Radio. What's your name and where you're calling from? Ooh, come on, Colleen. That's awesome. Is there any advice you want to give any young people out there? Mm-hmm. All right, Michael. There you go, Michael Ford. Thanks so great. Congratulations on that. Yes, sir. And there you have it. Michael Ford is actually graduating from D.H. Conley. We send so much love and blessings your way. We're actually about to head over to a small sponsorship break. You know your girl got to go pay some bills, right? Yeah. So I want to encourage you to link in with us on Awesome Radio 106.9 at WBISawesome.org. We'll be right back. Guys, I hope you're having a good time out there. I totally am. Like, I love hearing about people doing awesome things. And so graduating high school is a phenomenal stepping stone, because sometimes a lot of people don't make it. And so, as I was mentioning, when we have time to celebrate each other, we got to make sure that we do that. And so, yeah. We have so much more to talk about tonight. I didn't get an opportunity to really get into some of the news that I actually have for you. So I hope you will grab you something to drink, your popcorn, your chips, or whatever it is that you gotta get, and come hang out with me again. Let's see. Well, I know you're kind of like wondering, what am I doing with my shades on again tonight? Well, a lot of people told me they were digging the whole shades thing. So I was like, okay, let me go ahead and switch up the game. So I'm gonna be rocking my shades, different flavors of them. So if you want to, of course, send me anything, you can at P.O. Box 4244 Greenville 27836. Of course, and make sure you send enough for my studio buddies. Yes, we always want to give away things. You know what I mean? Give away things to who people are less fortunate. So we want to give our awesome listeners something. So if you have anything that you want to send us to the studio, you can do that. Oh my God, it is awesome. Awesome Radio. Can you hear when people call?
Somewhat.
Put on your earphones. Oh. Guys, I'm not talking to the wall. I got my bodyguard over there, making sure that I'm doing good and stuff. So yeah. And we are back. Awesome family. Of course, if you're just tuning in, you are listening to the press release. And I'm your girl, Portia Bright, on the mic with you tonight. And we have been celebrating graduates from everywhere. South Carolina, we had someone call and shout out someone from Durham. We got some locals here. Oh my God, it has been phenomenal to just see the phenomenal things that young people are actually doing out there. We see crazy stories all the time about some people that may not even be making it, but we gotta celebrate each other when we can, which is the most important element, right? Yes. So before we went to our sponsorship break, in between, we had a caller. We were actually talking about a new prospective law that could be taken. It should be taken really seriously. And we were actually paying attention to what is going on with this. But displaying God we trust in the school system has actually been discussed. And his legislation, like literally, had advanced in the North Carolina General Assembly on Tuesday. And so a House Education Committee voted unanimously to require that the North Carolina motto, Esse quam vedere, but the display must be viewed in the English translation, to be rather than to seem. And so if you've ever been to the North Carolina General Assembly, you notice it's displayed in the front of the building. As soon as you walk up, literally, it's right there in big stone. And so it's something that you will have to, your kid would actually have to know. That's what it seems like. But we have a caller. Caller, you're listening to Awesome Radio. What's your name and where are you calling from? Micah Forbes. Awesome. Mom, are you ecstatic?
Yes, I am.
Oh, what's one bit of advice you would give some young people out there?
I just want them to just keep reaching for the top
Mm-hmm.
and,
Mm-hmm.
throughout their life and just keep God first and that they get a long way.
Right. You can never forget where you come from, right?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. So let's shout him out again. Michael Ford.
Myself,
Michael Forbes. Yes, I got him.
thank you.
Thank you, Mom, and congratulations.
All right.
Well, there we have it. Awesome family. More graduates. What can we say? They're also out there doing some awesome things. And so, yeah. Okay, so we were actually talking about in God we trust, having to be displayed in the school system. So this is something that we're all going to have to pay attention to. If you actually want to catch up on that story, you can actually check it out on the press release with Richard Wright on Facebook or at Awesome Radio 106.9. Now, next, I want to tell you about something that's really bothering a whole lot of people. This is actually coming through the legislature as well. The voting ID. And you're probably thinking, like, well, how does that relate to me? Well, let me tell you. Voters may be asked this November, yes, this November, if the state constitution should require identification from people who cast ballots at polling places. Now, of course, we know this is another Republican bill, yes, and I'm sorry I have to say that, but it's the truth. Republicans in the State House on Thursday proposed placing the question of voter ID on the ballot in November. That's 2 years after federal courts actually struck down the requirement, which was part of a broader law on voter restrictions. Of course, now Speaker Tim Moore is the lead sponsor of the bill, and per usual, as we've been seeing things play out over the last few years, Republicans do have enough votes to actually make the question become actuality on the ballot without Democrats' help. So you know a whole lot of things are taking place with that. Now, a ballot question on voter ID is expected to help draw conservative voters to the polls in November, where Republicans anticipate losing seats in the legislature. But a lot of people are also saying this would actually prevent people from being able to vote again. Now, listen to this, just to give you a quick, catch you up on a brief timeline of events leading up to now. Now, a federal court actually overturned North Carolina's voter ID law in 2016, saying its restrictions target African Americans with almost surgically precision. The law called for voters to show specific kinds of voter identification, and it has also prohibited voters from registering to vote and, listen to this, casting ballots on the same day. And it is sought to eliminate out-of-precinct voting as well as pre-registration for 16 and 17-year-olds who would turn 18 by election day. Now, it eliminated a week of early voting. Now, also, I want to let you know the U.S. Supreme Court last year actually refused to revive the law. The ballot question is simple, and so it would be up to the legislature to fill in the details on what kinds of ID would actually be acceptable come this November. And so this is something that you're going to have to vote yes or no on. Vote yes or no on. And so I'm pretty much going to ask you to just, do what your heart believes and what you believe in your heart is the right thing to do. Now, I also want to let you know there are several states that have voter ID requirements. According to the National Conference of State Legislatures, North Carolina is one of 17 states that does not require voters to show photo identification. Now, a lot of people, of course, are a little torn on that, and let me tell you why. Specifically, U.S. Congressman Butterfield made this statement. This latest proposal by Republicans in the North Carolina General Assembly isn't about protecting our elections. It's about suppressing the vote. Their continued and thinly veiled efforts to make it harder and less likely that some North Carolinians will vote are shameful. North Carolinians are tired of the political games, and we still continue to aggressively protect the right to vote, whether it is challenged. And you can actually read more about this story on the press release with Portia Wright, or Awesome Radio 106.9, the Facebook page, to actually find out more information about that, guys, because we're going to have to stay woke on this situation. You know how some young people say that we got to stay woke, and, we do got to be woke on the things that are taking place around us, because you know why? Things like this are kind of going to keep creeping up, and so it's going to be on you to determine whether this is something that you want. And if you feel in your heart this is the right thing to do, why not? And I was actually thinking about it myself. You pretty much need an ID to do everything pretty much in this world. Like, you can't leave the country without an ID. You can't board a plane without an ID. You can't cash a check without an ID. In most cases, when somebody's not doing, when somebody's cashing a check the right way, let's say that. You can't go in and receive any money from any wire transfer without an ID. So I don't think that this would, hinder people. I think this would help encourage more people to get, things in order. Like, you need an ID. You have to be identified. And having the proper paperwork would, help alleviate a lot of stressors. It would actually help you deal with less issues when people have to, make you go through extra changes or extra steps because you don't have the right identification. So I really think this would actually help more people. Now, what I do believe is that there should be more programs that offer people who can't afford to go and get an ID. So you would help them, get the ID. Maybe we can have some type of, relationship with the DMV, nonprofits and stuff like that. That's something to think about. But we're going to keep our eyes on this. I know specifically I will. It'll be coming up more, I'm pretty sure, because it's not law yet. It's still going through the motions in the North Carolina General Assembly. So I want to encourage you. That's why I said you have to stay linked in with us on Austin Radio on 106.9 FM or the press release with Portia Bright on Facebook, because I'm always posting things like news stories and stuff like that you may not hear about throughout the week, or sometimes it might be something that you're missing but you need to know about it. And so I also post a host of other things like that just to basically keep you informed, because again, that's what my job is to do. So yes. And also, when you visit our page, make sure you leave some stars. Like, let us know how we're doing. If the content that you're receiving, is it inspiring you? Is it motivating you? Is it educating you? Which is the most important thing. And so we want to know how you feel out there so we can continue to grow and get better. I know I do. Like, it's called constructive criticism. And so let me know how I'm doing, what's going on out there. If you're loving Awesome Radio, you're loving me every Friday at 8 o'clock to 9 o'clock, just let me know. I want to hear from you. But anyway, we're actually about to head over to a brief sponsorship break. Oh my God, we've been having a good time tonight, and time is really flying. Like, literally, I only have like 30 more minutes into the show. Like, seriously, even it might not even be 30 minutes. It might be a little less. But anyway, in the meantime, don't go anywhere. Please stay with us. Like, there's so much more information that I want to share with you tonight. Like, it's crazy because a lot of things are taking place, and so we also want to continue to call in, express our gratitude for our graduates, for those people who have actually your biggest inspiration. So you can actually call in as soon as we come back for our sponsorship break at 252-756-2008, and there you have it. Do not go anywhere. Like, seriously, why would you? Why would you want to? Here we're at Awesome Radio. Like, really, it's radio with the spirit of excellence. Come on now. Don't move. Don't touch it down. We'll be right back. Awesome family. This room with my name on it. That's my joint right there. There's a healing in this room, and it's here for me. Oh, that's Tasha Cobbs. Like, she always get you in that mode, like, worship. things I do, and the way that I put my trust in you, they don't understand. And we are back, awesome family. If you're just tuning in, you are listening to That Price with Lisa, and I'm your girl, Portia Barney, hosting tonight. And so, if you just tuned in with us, we've been talking about a host of things. Most importantly, we've been shouting out our graduates. So we've been having some folks call in from different places, shouting them out, letting them know how awesome they are, and how proud they are. We've been giving them some good advice. And so we hope some people, had a pen and paper, or, went in your notepad on your cell phone and, took down a little bit of that information. The most important thing that I heard tonight was not only the name of the graduates, but also two people actually said the most important thing for you to do is to listen to what your parents told you while you were going up into the home. I think that's one of the most important pieces of wisdom that we can give anybody, because you know what? Those people are not going to steer you wrong. And if you think about it, the things that they were telling you helped you get to this point where you actually graduated high school. Like, graduating high school is so mandatory because it's your next stage, before you go to college and become into adults and all those other things. And so, continue to listen to what your parents have to say. And I know sometimes we get a little stubborn, but that advice will be listened to the right way. And I miss so many times I had so many times where, I did something wrong and, I look back and like, dang, I should have listened to what my mom said. Or tag on, I should listen to what dad said. Or, you know what I'm saying? Like, you will always have those moments in life because, looking back on things, hindsight is 2020. But when you're looking forward, you always kind of want to figure things out for yourself. But those actual, those few quality things that if you didn't take anything else from your parents or anybody who was in, leadership and your biggest inspiration would be to make sure that you keep those golden nuggets close to your heart. And so, yeah. Now, next up on the Purse Release, I want to tell you about some awesome cash opportunities, like literally. And this is so important now because we've actually been seeing a host of, events taking place all over the state dealing with disaster recovery from natural events. And so I want to tell you about a disaster recovery grant program. The state of North Carolina actually provided funds to the Golden Leaf Foundation to make grants to units of local government and 501c3 nonprofit tax-exempt organizations that serve the people of North Carolina who are working to recover from Hurricane Matthew, the Western wildfires, Tropical Storm Julia, or Tropical Storm Hermine. Now, eligible projects actually include repair, replacement, or demolition of existing infrastructure, and infrastructure to support new housing development, repair or replace of equipment, and construction replacement or improvement of public infrastructure to support hazardous mitigation. And so for the purpose of this program, infrastructure also includes non-residential buildings that serve the public, water, sewer, sidewalks, storm drainage, and other similar projects. And so this is really big, and actually people are going to wonder now, how do you actually apply for this? Well, let me tell you. You have to complete the Disaster Recovery Grant Program application form and attachments. The application form, you can actually check out the actual checklist for that, and you can also email in your application and attachments at programs@greenleaf.org. Now, applications for the Disaster Recovery Grant Program will be accepted on a rolling basis until all funds are available for this program have been actually awarded. And so applications will be notified when their proposal is scheduled for consideration at the meeting of the Greenleaf Board of Directors. And so you will actually be notified of the information that you need to provide, if there is any additional information, or just to let you know the progress of your application, which is always important because sometimes people submit things and they want to know, well, what's the next step? Like, when am I going to hear from them? And God forbid, a month go by, you don't hear nothing. You be like, Lord, when am I going to hear something about this? And so sometimes you have to have a little bit of patience, and also this is another thing that you have to keep in mind. Although applications will be accepted and revived, funds may not be awarded by the Greenleaf Board until the Senate Bill 99 becomes law. So This is going to take a little bit of time to get, but those funds will be provided to Golden Leaf. And so a lot of people too don't know necessarily what Golden Leaf is, and so let me tell you about that. The Golden Leaf Foundation is committed to using the funds entrusted to it for the projects that show the most potential for providing relief or recovery from Hurricane Matthew and the Western fires, Tropical Storm Julia in Hermine. And so its intent of the Golden Leaf is to avoid duplication of actual federal assistance or other private insurance benefits, and therefore grant funds may not be awarded for the costs that have been approved to receive federal funds through FEMA, public assistance, hazardous mitigation grant program, or community development grants. And so yeah, this is really awesome. I felt like it was an awesome opportunity. So you know your girl had to share that with you, right? Yeah, I did. And so of course, if you need more information, you can always inbox me on the press release with Portia Bright or at Awesome Radio 106.9, and I'd be happy to actually give you that information. Now, next up, I have another awesome opportunity that I want to share with you. Of course, and a lot of people may be sitting out there, they may not, this may be their first time listening to the press release. Awesome opportunities and awesome cash are opportunities that I actually research and find that could actually help you. A lot of people are dealing with a lot of things out there, and so I do research things that I feel like people could actually utilize and help them with whatever project they have going on. So that's my little way to give back, And so yeah, inbox me, let me know what you need, what's going on, and so we'll see. Eventually I'm gonna have me some type of consulting business or something, because a lot of times people ask me things, and I have to research, and so I don't know. I might see something like that popping up in 2018. We've been talking about business, so the spirit of business then hit me, and I'm always around a lot of influential people and people who are doing their thing, and so I definitely want to make sure that I'm putting in the work too, taking their advice and seeing it manifest into something that could help benefit my future, and actually creating a business for me is creating something that people actually need, something that people can actually flourish off of. And so yeah, we'll see. Of course, you're gonna have to keep putting in that work, honey, so stay on the lookout. But for this awesome opportunity, the North Carolina Department of Health and Human Services Division of Aging and Adult Services is partnering with the North Carolina area agencies on aging and local service providers to actually distribute fans through Operation Fan Heat Relief. And this is awesome too, because it's going to actually take place until October 31st. So people 60 and older, as well as adults with disabilities, are eligible to sign up for assistance through the end of October at local aging agencies across the state. Now, this is not something that's actually been taking place, and so since, just to give you a little history on that, since 1986, the Relief Program has purchased fans for older adults and adults with disabilities, providing them with a more comfortable living environment and reducing heat-related illnesses. And so this program is made possible by a host of things, host of different organizations and businesses and stuff like that. So, and last year the division actually received $85,600 in donations, allowing for the distribution of over 5,000 fans in 27 air conditions. Ain't that a blessing right there? And so a lot of times people forget about the old people, and also they forget that they're going to be old one day too. And so awesome opportunities like this, you can never pass up, because you never know when you're going to be in a situation or in need or something like that, and then you don't necessarily have the resources to be able to provide for yourself or provide for your family. So awesome opportunities like this are always important. So if you hear something, make sure you share it. Share it with somebody else, because again, a blessing and a blessing until you can pass it down, right? Yes. So make sure you do that. Now we're going to be heading to a sponsorship break too soon. Oh my God, guys, I gotta be honest with you. I've been really just throwing myself into things that I'm passionate about, and so I don't know. I just felt like I needed to be doing a whole lot of things that I've been doing. Like a lot of people say, when do you get time to do all the things that you do? Well, you gotta make time to be great. You gotta put your feet down and say, I'm gonna get this done. I'm not gonna procrastinate. I'm actually gonna put in the work to make it happen. And so that's what I've been doing. Sometimes you get a little discouraged because you may not see as much progress as you hope to have seen, but you just gotta be patient out there and stay motivated, stay encouraged. But anyway, we're gonna head to a sponsorship break. I want to encourage you to continue listening to Awesome Radio 106.9. And most importantly, the press release with Portia Bright every Friday at 8 p.m. Like, literally, you can put that in your calendar. Like, I'm going to be here every Friday, 8 p.m., Lord willing, giving you the news and information that you need to know about. You can always follow us on Awesome Radio 106.9 FM, the Facebook page, and your girl Portia Bright on Facebook as well. So we'll be right back. Don't touch that down. And we are back. I believe we are. Well, no. It was actually a false start.
This is me, Natural Hair Health Show.
Oh, God.
Giving you hair health and wellness information to enhance your mind, body, and your soul. This is me, Natural Hair Health Show, 106.9 FM, Awesome Radio.
And we are back, awesome family. Of course, this is the last segment of the show. Guys, we've been having a great time tonight. Like, literally, we had some awesome folks call in to let us know that, about their graduates and, give us some good advice for those graduates, which is also great. And I've been sharing a host of news and information and so forth. But I also want to talk about something that has been very prevalent lately in the news just this week. We've actually seen two people actually die of suicide, and they were actually, superstars, of course, Anthony Bourdain, and we had Kate Spade, who actually committed suicide. Anthony Bourdain was actually found today, dead in his hotel in France, in a French hotel, and so they say that he committed suicide, and so this is something that people don't always talk about, and there are a lot of people out there who are dealing with, experiencing a family member go through suicide, and so I kind of wanted to bring that up because, we've all been under a host of pressure. We've all, have, been through things that we may felt like we couldn't actually get through. And so with these, mega stars, they're not related to us or anything like that. We won't even see them on television. But you can feel like when something's not right. I feel like, and people don't do this a lot of times too. They're around somebody who may, make a comment and they may laugh it off, but in all actuality, that person is actually crying out for help. And so that's why I feel like it's so important for us to, check on our strong friends. A lot of times we look at strong people and we think that they don't need anything, or they don't need us to call. They don't need us to, ask them how they're doing. But that's not true. I'm here to let you know right now, I'm a strong friend to someone. And, it never hurts to actually call and check on someone. That really makes me, I feel like that encourages me. That lets me know that someone loves me. That lets me know someone is okay with me venting to them about things that I may be going through. And so you can never look at strong people or people who we think are overly successful and think like, they don't need us to call them, or they don't need us to check on them every now and then or shoot them a text or, just the simple things in life. Because we all have to realize that we are human. We go through things. We go through pressures of life, of living, responsibility. All those things have played a role in the way people feel about themselves and them feeling like the world would be a better place without them. And so tonight I want to encourage you to check on your strong friends. Make sure that they're okay too, because we all need someone. We're human. Like, before I came here, I actually heard LL Cool J say that the most powerful people in the world can lose everything in one night. And that statement actually rang out to me because that's the absolute truth. Absolute truth. Because we look at people who we feel are super successful and we look at everything they got and we're like, oh, I wish I was them. But we really don't know what those people are actually dealing with. You know what I'm saying? Like, we always looking at everybody trying to figure out what it is that they have that we can actually have too. And in most cases, we're wondering, how did they get to that place? We don't think about all the things that they went through to get to that place and all the sacrifices that they had to make, all the tears that they had, all of the suicidal thoughts that they may have had to actually get to that place. Or in some cases, they could be having right now. And so we got to check on our strong friends. We got to make sure they're okay. We got to make it our business to, this is something that you're not, used to doing or accustomed to doing or having somebody call to check on yourself or check on you. Then we got to train ourselves to do that because we got to love on each other. Like, this is not cool. People taking their lives because they don't feel a part of our world, a part of their families, or, they don't feel human. So they want to, take their lives. And so we want to make sure that we're doing our part because we are human. Like, we have feelings too. And so once we begin to, check on each other and, make sure everything's okay. And also, if somebody gives you a sign that they may be suicidal or something, you got to make sure you take that serious because that could be the last thing that person, that last moment of crying out for help that person actually had. And so, yeah, check on your strong friends. You can also check on me too by hitting me up at Awesome Radio 106.9 FM or the press release with Portia if you have any questions or anything like that. So, yeah. Of course, I have a few more minutes of news that I want to tell you about. Now, everybody's using social media like everywhere. Everywhere you go, you're seeing people looking on their phones. You're seeing them, not even being able to concentrate on things from picking up their phones like every few minutes or so. So I want to let you know about one of the biggest social media giants that we use more than anything, which is Facebook, and it's back in the news again. Yes. As many as 14 million Facebook users had their posts shared in a broader audience than they intended. Now, so for some people, this may have not been like one of the worst things that could actually occur. Because, a lot of times people post things just for attention. And so, for, Facebook to mistakenly expose users to actually having their, post shared on broader audiences, a lot of people were excited about that. Because, some people are caught up on those views and those viewers and those followers and stuff. So some people may not have felt the effect by this. But let me tell you about this. The social media giant says a software glitch for 10 days last month switched privacy settings to public for millions if they had wanted only friends to see their posts. Now, they say they fixed the issue and starting just the other day, they're letting everyone affected know and asking them to review any posts they made during that time. And a Facebook chief privacy officer said in an email statement, "We'd like to apologize for this mistake." And so the disclosure is the most recent and long-running bout of privacy blunders by Facebook, still reeling from March revelations that political consultancy Cambridge Analytica had assessed information on some 87 million Facebook users without their knowledge. And so most recently, Facebook has been facing a lot of scrutiny from lawmakers from its ordeals dealing with a Chinese company just the other day. And so I want to know your thoughts. Like, what are your thoughts on this? Do you believe that the social media giant, if they continue to, make some of these unconscious decisions when it comes to protecting consumers' information, do you think this would eventually deter users to other media outlets for social gratification? You can actually call in if you like, or, you can tag us on our Facebook page and let us know what your thoughts are regarding that. Do you believe that if Facebook continues to make some of these unconscious decisions when it comes to protecting consumers, do you believe this will deter users from to other media outlets for social gratification. I do personally, because just like when we had MySpace, everybody was all hooked on MySpace. It was MySpace this and MySpace that, and also, MySpace had different little capabilities that you can do. Like you can click on a person's page and there will be music and just little cute things that they had on that specific social media outlet. But when Facebook, I don't really believe, to be honest with you, that MySpace had any type of situation like this where they would continuously call in and debacle about exposing other people's information. And so I don't know. I think a lot of times people use they use Facebook too for promoting businesses and personal gratification and all types of things. And so just think about that. The information that you're putting on Facebook is being exposed to millions of people that you may not even know. Have you actually had people friend you that you never even heard of before? I have a lot of times, and I'm like, I don't know you, so I'm literally not planning on accepting any friend requests from you because I don't know you. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of times you can get those little what do you call it, torrents or little trolls, the social media trolls, and they can be hacking into your accounts and stuff. And it's like one of them other things that I hate too is for people to send you those chain messages. You don't know what's going on, what kind of virus that they have embedded into this whole chain thing. And a lot of times people just send it just because the words look nice, so they're attracted by the words, and so they want to share it with you. I'm like thinking to myself, you don't need to share that little virus with me. I don't need it. And so I don't want nobody hacking into my account. I don't want them tracking me or none of that. And so I think a lot of times people need to pay attention to the things that they're posting, the things that they're sharing on social media, because we're seeing that they're not taking the use of our information. They're not using it in a positive way to protect it. You know what I mean? It's like it's all about making money on it. And so I'm actually going to be paying attention to the things that I post, which I always do anyway. Like I'm not posting a host of things that like social security information or anything like that. No, I'm not. But just the little things that I post. I mean, I don't even know how do you actually control what Facebook actually shares anymore. It seems like they do what they want to anyway. Although they want to make us feel that they give us these privacy settings and stuff like that, but it seems like they do what they want to do anyway. And so I'm just hoping that they figure out some kind of way to think more about consumers versus the dollar. You know what I mean? Like I don't want to be looked at a dollar sign anymore. I want to be taken serious. You know what I mean? So I hope things really start to change with specifically social media. I don't know, like maybe there is going to be some type of something that they'll add to it to make it a little bit more safe. I use a lot of Instagram a lot of times too because I post videos and pictures and stuff like that. So check that out as well. Now, lastly, I want to share something with you that I felt was very important because a lot of times people don't think about it, but it's actually on the news a little bit more and more every day now, and that is cryptocurrency. A lot of people have heard that term, and we've been seeing it all across the news. And so have you actually spent enough time investing or reading about the cryptocurrency in the world? And so it's easy to become a bit jaded about the wild, unpredictable price swings that seem to come with the territory. But it doesn't necessarily have to be this way. Some say blockchain developers, and they say the trick they argue is to peg the price of a crypto token to that of a flat currency like the US dollar. Now, a lot of this may seem a little foreign to most people. And so that's why it's so important when you hear terms like this, especially dealing with currency, to pay attention to it, because I believe in my heart that this is actually going to become the future, and they're going to do away with, paper dollar. I don't know how they're going to do it. I don't know how long it's going to take. I don't know if we'll be alive to actually see that transpire, but I want to let you know this is something that is going to be of the future, and it's evolving every day. That we see. And so let me tell you about this, specifically for the stable coin. The idea of a stable coin is in fact several years old. A dollar peg token, for example, Tether and TrueUSD, are already available on some cryptocurrency exchanges. But the recent mania around initial coin offerings has seeded a new crop, giving rise to different approaches to actually building a stable coin. And these fall into actually 3 categories. I'm going to do this real quick. Back up the token with cash in the bank account. Now, this is how Tether, the most popular dollar peg coin, works. That's what they say, at least. Now, the company hasn't shown the public any proof that the more than $2.5 billion token is in circulation or all actual backed by dollars. Perhaps the well-funded startup circle, which last month announced plans to develop a stable coin fully backed by dollar reserves and will be more transparent. Either way, users of a system like this must trust a third party with their money. How many of you we already got to deal with the bank and their surcharges and them telling us that when we can get our money and stuff like that. But how many of you are really ready to actually let a third party be in control of your money? I don't even know if I can give that to especially dealing with a computer anyway. I don't know. I just haven't gotten into, maybe I haven't gotten into deeper research of this whole cryptocurrency, but I know it's going to be of the future, so I'm going to be doing my best to research it. But in terms of giving a third party more access to the money, I don't know. You know what I mean? Like, especially dealing with computers and stuff, because you just never know. And so I feel like it's more important to have something tangible. And having those green dollars for me are comfortable right now. So maybe that's why I haven't, really, massaged my mind into the whole idea of cryptocurrency. But I'm doing my research because I definitely want to share a little bit more with you about cryptocurrency and so many other things. And so, yeah, we're actually at the last minute and 24 seconds of the show. Guys, I've had a phenomenal week. I mean, God, so many things have actually taken place, graduation, work, experiences. And it's kind of like been an emotional roller coaster, but I've grounded myself with some amazing words of wisdom from phenomenal people, and actually surrounded myself by some good people as well. So it's helping me grow. It's helping me realize my potential and things that I can expect and work towards in the future. And so I want to encourage you today, keep your head up, stay positive out there, call and check on your strong friends, and keep God first as always. You can always keep up with me throughout the week on the press release with Portia Bright or at Awesome Radio 106.9 FM. And if you follow me personally, I am Portia Bright, and I'm the press release for you at Instagram to find out things that I'm doing, things that I have going on, and to keep up with me in general. And also, you let me know that you're around. Just say hi, say hello, you know what I mean? Just let me know how you're doing out there, because it's always important to check on our strong friends. So yeah, you've been listening to Awesome Radio 106.9 tonight. Check us out at www.wbisawesome.org. As always, there's a roster of shows that are going to be up for the week. And I thank you. I'm signing out. Your girl, Portia Bright, on the press release. All right, awesome family. I'll see you next week. Same time, same place at the press release for you on Instagram here at Awesome Radio 106.9 Portia Bright TV. Check it out.